Thank you, everyone. And it's my privilege to introduce Dr. Srinivas Joshi, who's a renowned vitreoretinal surgeon from Hubli. He completed his MS ophthalmology from Belgaum, and then he received his elective training in VR from Charles Retina Institute, USA, and also completed his surgical fellowship in vitreoretina from University of Toronto. His areas of interest are artificial retina, the Argus 2. He is one of the first Indian to be trained in artificial retinal implantation surgery under Dr. Robert Devaney at Toronto Western Hospital, and he is recipient of Senior Honor Award by American Society of Retina Specialists, Boston 2017. He's been awarded many awards, and one of them is prestigious Red Buckler Oscar Award by American Society of Retina Specialists at Boston. And he's also been honored with the International Hero Award by All India Ophthalmic Society in 2019, peer reviewer of national and international journals, including AGO, Asia Pacific Journal of Ophthalmology, and Indian Journal of Ophthalmology. So over to you, Dr. Srinivas Joshi. The space is all yours.
Thank you, Dr. Balla. To add, Dr. Srinivas is an alumni from where I did my MBBS and ophthalmology. So it is Jain Medical College, Belgaum. Thank you, Srinivas. All to you.
Srinivas is mute. He needs to unmute.
I'm really sorry. So at the outset, I would like to thank entire AIOS team and especially Dr. Partha Biswas sir for this wonderful opportunity in this interesting webinar. And thanks Dr. Amit and Dr. Balla sir for the wonderful introduction. So without wasting much time, let's go on to our topic. It's multifocal IOL, as we all know, is often discouraged in patients with the retinal disorders, basically including diabetic retinopathy, age-related macular degeneration, or epiretinal membranes, because it is known to reduce the contrast sensitivity. So we have a recent paper done in July 2020 when Dr. Lalit Verma sir was telling the importance of OCT in all the patients who undergo cataract evaluation for multifocal IOL especially. And if you see here, that in this journal, it has been quoted that 20.5% of the patients undergoing cataract surgery may have macular pathology, of which 11% may not be detected in initial clinical examination. And it added telling that though OCT might be an extra cost, but definitely the detection of the macular pathologies and the improved quality adjusted life years over the time is much, much better. So let's go on to this case. 61-year-old software engineer, bilateral drusenoid PED, you can see here. And then he has a right eye multifocal IOL. Now what comes next? He has cataract in the other eye. So scenario one, which lens to consider? There's a plethora of lens, whether you want monofocal, multifocal, what to choose, how to choose. So there's another interesting study here. IOL selection for patients with age-related macular degeneration. The stage of the disease must be considered in choosing the best lens. So it states that the patient without any clinical evidence of macular disease, that is no drusen pigmentary changes, but still having a strong family history, are still considered normal patients, and direct counseling on the potential pitfalls of multifocal IOLs can be carried out. Patients with early maculopathy, like if they're having soft drusen or any pigmentary changes with relative sparing of Snellen acuity, then they are relative contraindication, not absolute contraindication. That is, they have a milder forms of AMD. Now coming to moderate or severe AMD, that is presence of large drusens, geographical atrophy, or exudative or the wet AMD changes, then definitely multifocal IOL would have a deleterious effects on the visual function. Monofocal and toric IOLs can be the other alternate benefits. Now coming to the situation, if the surgeon wants multifocal IOL, the patient also wants multifocal IOL. As we all know, having multifocals in both the eyes increase the depth perception and the stereoscopic view. So what are the pros? Better visual experience, reduced lifetime cost of the glasses, more freedom, and definitely when you have higher end technology like the multifocal or EDOF or TriDOF, whatever it is, then you can also use AI, which I'll be coming in the later slides. Now, what are the cons? Contrast sensitivity is reduced at higher spatial frequency, and some studies have shown that it reduces even in lower spatial frequencies. Night vision issues like halos, glare, starburst, sometimes it can be permanent. So if you look into this ocular surgery news, and which is done by Cynthia Matosian and Catherine Hatch, they have shown that many authors have shown that the patients who prefer multifocal IOL, or if the doctor puts multifocal IOL in the patients who are having retinal pathologies, they lose their independence and ability to read. Often they are no longer able to drive or to engage in activities they love doing. And several articles have listed depression as something that is very uncommon to the patients with AMD. Therefore, the patient says that no in cases of having any retinal pathology. Now, if you look into the demographics, some authors might argue. See here, if you look into the demographics, 60 to 64 years, they have only 0.4% of changes of AMD, wet AMD. Whereas in geographical atrophy, it is just 0.3. If you take 75 to 79, it's just 2.2%. So rest 97% are still fit for multifocal IOL, that the surgeons might argue. And if you look into the lifespan of Indian population, it is around 70 years. So if you go into this slide, so if you take approximately around 2.2% of the patients can convert to wet AMD, 1.8% of the patients going for geographic atrophy. That means still 95% of the patients is still left behind, and you can choose for multifocal IOL is what some surgeons might argue. Now, this is the slide which I took just now from the Atul sir's slide. See here, the global prevalence itself is 8.7%. So that means 92% are still considered fit for multifocal IOL. So what are the shortcomings? They have done a lot of studies and shown that combined phaco-vitrectomy, membrane peeling, and MFIOL improved with idiopathic ERM. So scenario 2, wet AMD or geographical atrophy. If it bleeds, then there is plethora of anti-VEGFs available. There is Amsler chart, technology to support the disease, home-based OCT, especially this is something very interesting called as Notal Vision, AI-based Notal OCT analyzer. So if you have a high-end lens, then you can always afford for these home-based OCTs, which takes 10 OCTs per day. It sends a signal to your doctor, yes, I am having some changes. It alarms you. Then you can go back and see your doctor quickly. Last scenario, if there is a bleed at the macula, then what is the another most common debate going on? That the viewing might be uncomfortable for the vitreoretinal surgeon. So whether it's a biome versus the contact lens. So many of the authors have shown that diffractive multifocal intraocular lenses interferes with intraoperative view. They say that we could consider doing a macular surgery, but still there were wave-shaped arches may indicate how aberrations affect the intraoperative view. There is another author which says that you can put a Healon on the surface of the multifocal, below the surface of the multifocal, and you can get away with the difficulties you see through the diffractive rings. And lastly, I would like to say this, comparing the effect of monofocal and multifocal, it said that only decentration of the multifocal causes problem in the VR surgeries, not the multifocal if it is sitting in a proper position. So I'll show you the last 20 seconds video I did just a few months back. This is a multifocal patient with a complicated retinal detachment. The patient had anterior PDR. So you can see there is a PCO here. This was the PanOptix lens. You can see the view is not bad. I could perform this surgery with the PDR. You can see I'm removing the membranes over the macula and even the subretinal gliotic at the periphery. So probably with 3D visualization, I might agree, or some might agree, that parfocalization actually happens on the surface of the retina, so that anything on the lens surface might get mitigated. So because of which the clear view might be there. So lastly, to conclude, this is a wonderful study recently done by Andrzej Gibrowski from Poland, and I was happy to be in the part of one of the instruction course. He says that we were unable to find evidence suggesting that patients with macular disease should be advised against multifocal IOL. Several contraindications for MIOLs with retinal disease have a hypothetical character and are not evidence-based. And more research is needed, especially to address the effect of MIOL, especially on contrast sensitivity, visual functions, and orientation, mobility, and etc. So with this, you have to choose whether you want a clarity or a convenience. If there is a clarity, then go for monofocal. Convenience, you can still go in for multifocal, but definitely with some risk factors involved in it. So with this, I would like to acknowledge the Department of Vitreoretina and Cataract and our two favorite fellows, Karthike and Giriraj, for helping me. Thank you very much. And this is the confused patient of the multifocal, which I'm showing. Thank you.
Thank you, Srinivas, for opening up the Pandora's box.
Yes.
With the myth which has always been said that multifocal is a big no, in retinal pathologies, and now suddenly your presentation has changed the whole mindset. I don't know whether you're encouraging your multifocal, your cataract surgeons or your surgeons in MM Joshi to do more of cataract with multifocal. So to discuss this, we have our discussion, Srinivas. I'll come back to you with this. We have Dr. Nishikant Borse, Dr. Lalit Verma, and Dr. Mohan Rajan. Dr. Mohan Rajan will talk about the cataract surgeon's point of view, and Dr. Nishikant and Dr. Borse would, I would like their opinion from what was suggested and what Srinivas is suggesting.
I want to pull up Srinivas.
Retina fellow, you know.
I know, but now he's converted into a cataract surgeon. So that's why I kept.
And so happened, first cataract he did with me.
Absolutely.
Okay, so here what happens is when you put a multifocal lens, there are 3-4 points we should know. One is whether the patient already has a macular disease, the person is aware of it, and in spite of knowing that there's a macular disease and you go ahead and put a multifocal without counseling the patient properly, he is going to be extremely disturbed because his expectations are that whatever distortions were there due to the AMD are going to disappear with the panacea of a multifocal lens. So that is the first thing. So you have to really counsel the patient well, if at all you're going to put your foot into it and putting a multifocal. If there are undetected also, like, macular disease was undetected and the anterior segment surgeon went ahead and put it, and then in retrospect, the patient is unhappy and the patient comes back to you, and then you find macular disorders, and then you tell that, yes, there is a problem. So these are the scenarios where the patient is extremely unhappy. But in my VR practice, I've seen there are certain scenarios where AMD patient is extremely happy for near vision, I should say, because of a multifocal. Because if they put a glass on top of a multifocal, they get a magnification which is not the same that you will get with a monofocal, and they are many times happy in certain circumstances for near vision, especially if they have the low add multifocals put in them, and they are that way happier. The only other thing I would say is that we do exchange multifocals many a times for patients in whom they are unhappy, and you take out the multifocal and then you put a monofocal. But I really don't remember doing it very often, just because the patient had an AMD, and if he has been counseled properly, what to expect, I think the only plus point would be a better near vision and a bit of independence. But yes, all this should be done with a caution in mind. What do you think, Dr. Mohan Rajan?
Yes, absolutely. You want me to comment?
Yeah, Dr. Mohan, your comment on this.
Absolutely. And let me thank Partha for the wonderful opportunity, and also Srinivas, compliment Srinivas for the very nice lucid talk, I would say. But I would tend to disagree with him in certain aspects. One is multifocals, definitely when you have a macular pathology, see what happens in multifocal is there's a decrease in the contrast sensitivity in the multifocal because there's multiple points of foci. Okay, so that's one important thing. You have to understand this very clearly before you tell the patient. In the presence of a ERM, you do a ERM removal, of course, you do a vitrectomy and then put. Exactly, problem is when you have a ERM, you will not be able to get the right power of the lens in a multifocal lens. Please understand. And you have to be bang on target on a multifocal lens. If you're this way, that way, you're screwed up completely in a multifocal lens. How do you get the correct power in IOL master when the ERM is there in the macula, in the fovea? You tell me. So it's not possible at all. So I don't think there's any question about having a multifocal in any macular pathology. The only indication for me, as Nishi was telling, is that I have patients, I have about 10 or 15 patients I have done, wherein above the age of 80, dry AMD, I've been following up for almost 10 years. Nothing happens to them. These are patients who want near vision only. So these patients, I put the TECNIS multifocal. I used to put Restore multifocal +4, but nowadays Restore multifocal +4 is not available. So I put a TECNIS multifocal +4 for these patients, which acts as a nice low vision aid for these patients. Because these people are not bothered about the distance at all. They want to read. So that actually is a very good point what Nishi mentioned. And I use it as a low vision aid. On top of that, if I want to give another +2 or 3, I can give that also because the patient feels comfortable over a multifocal lens. So these are the few points I want to, but otherwise it's a really fantastic talk, Srinivas. Really hats off.
Dr. Alisa, your views?
Take a comment, Amit.
Srinivas, thank you for creating all this confusion actually.
Let me admit today that I was told to confuse.
So you see, tell me who is bothered about contrast sensitivity in patients who have ARMD? You see, vision ही नहीं है, ARMD, आप contrast sensitivity का क्या बात? So contrast sensitivity is a very high, function. Snellen visual acuity होगा तभी तो contrast sensitivity की बात करेंगे. So don't, start your talk. Mohan also said contrast sensitivity is reduced.
No. I'm not trying to say contrast sensitivity. Please understand that patients who have got.
Let me finish. 1 minute. I'll take only 30 seconds. What I was saying was,
yes.
You see, retina surgeons most of the time, believe me, do not have any issues if they are performing VR surgery with the multifocal. Slight tilt here and there, sometimes but major, I haven't faced any issue that I'm operating a VR or a ERM surgery or whatever, RD, GRD, multifocal, minor additional problem. That's all. No major issues. So don't worry about the VR surgery being affected, Srinivas. That is out. And regarding choice of IOL, believe me, I leave it to the cataract surgeon. You want multifocal, patient wants, I am not going to come in between. Go ahead. But believe me, multifocals are generally, if you counsel well, if you counsel honestly, are not the preferred IOLs even for people, without the ARMD also. So
can I just make just one comment? Can I make, sir?
Yeah, Dr.
Yeah. It is there was a publication by Joshua et al. In JCRS 2017 where they said that the CME after if routine cataract surgery was 1 to 2%, if you have combined surgery with ERM removal, the incidence increases to as high as 7%.
Absolutely.
Oh, definitely. You're touching the retina, so it's going to go high.
Yeah, if macular edema is increases, I think that is going to worsen his maculopathy. And secondly, the choice of IOL, do we advise the blue blocking IOLs because the normal IOLs may increase the macular damage? So do we advocate the
I don't think so.
IOL like
of
at all?
See, choice of IOL will be dictated by either Amit Porwal or Partha Biswas. Retina surgeon will not tell you about the choice of IOL. Believe me. I think Nishikant agrees with that. Multifocal IOL, I have no issue. Provided you don't create PCR, provided IOL does not get tilted. That is where multifocal IOL.
Okay, let's take the question, Lalit sir, to the cataract surgeons. As you told, we leave it to the cataract surgeons. So we have Dr. Rajiv Chaudhary, Dr. Mohan Rajan, Dr. Ajay. I would like to ask you. The question was.
Yes.
The Srinivas's topic, what I remember was. One eye multifocal, both eye ARMD. Now other eye, should we go with a multifocal or a monofocal? Over to you, Dr. Ajay. I'm very specific in my questions.
Amit, can I ask, is the patient happy with the right eye or not? If the patient is happy with the multifocal of the right eye with ARMD, go ahead and do other eye if the symmetrical picture is there. If
symmetrical picture is there.
If patient has to be happy with the multifocal of one eye.
Now, what type of ARMD is important?
Yeah, that's
very good.
Dr. Lalit has just now pointed out what time when you said the AMD, is it a dry AMD? Is it an early RP defect, a Few-Drusen?
Mild, moderate, or severe?
Definitely a +4 in other eye, as Dr. Mohan has said, that a +4 diopter, which you can see better near vision, which got a contrast. But otherwise, if the patient is in a late stage, if has got a big scar or vision is 612 or 6, I would prefer a aspheric with a myopic shift, and maybe a bit of keep it an aspheric with -1 or -2. We'll get a bit of better near vision.
You won't prefer a multifocal which should act like a low vision aid, as Dr. Nishikant said.
Yeah, that's if it is a 612 or 6 or a N8 or N12 on the pinhole in that eye, definitely that would be a better choice.
But still, you would prefer a monofocal in case of an
aspheric. Otherwise, in a AMD patient, I'd always go.
Can you have a quick survey from all the cataract?
Yeah, from all the panelists. The question to all the panelists: multifocal or monofocal should be the answer. The question is: one eye multifocal, both eye ARMD. Now ARMD moderate degree.
I will still prefer monofocal in the other eye with the slight myopic check. So you have the balance. Either patient is happy or not happy, because AMD may deteriorate later on.
Okay.
So if you have the one eye, if he is happy, it will work for near also. and
Okay.
other eye slightly myopic sick. So if there is a deterioration, it will help in the long run.
Okay, Dr. Krishna Prasad.
Yeah.
What is your view?
No, let's just have a vote. I think, Amit,
Yeah.
let's have a
No,
vote.
just multifocal or monofocal, Krishna Prasad.
I would put
Other eye-
multifocal.
I would like to go once again with the
Multifocal or monofocal? Just multifocal or a monofocal, one or two?
Correct.
monofocal.
Thank you.
Monofocal.
Only
Thank
one
you.
and two.
Dr. Sonu,
Right.
are you there? Multifocal, monofocal?
Monofocal.
Monofocal.
No,
Okay.
see, please understand, Amit.
No. The question is multifocal or mono. We discussed.
No, Amit,
we have
no.
to go to the next
No,
question.
no,
Next
no,
is,
you're talking about this particular patient. No. One
I'm
eye
talking
has already
about
got-
one eye multifocal,
one
both
eye has
eye
already
moderate
got-
degree RMD.
One eye has already got multifocal. Why don't we put multifocal plus 4 in the other eye as well?
Yeah,
What
that's
is
what
wrong
it
in
is.
that?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
you want to go for that? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What about Partha? You are both combined anterior and posterior segment surgeon, but practice
I will
only
go
anterior
with my
segment.
friend Mohan.
You're always with me, boss.
Okay. So, how many of y'all have explanted a multifocal lens because of macular pathology? Has anyone in the panel, the senior ophthalmologist, the so-called high volume cataract surgeon, what was your indication for explantation? Patient unhappiness? Fine. So after experiencing this, would you still advocate a multifocal?
But we have even explanted it in people with not a macular pathology,
Yeah.
mind you.
Absolutely.
So,
Since
I
this webinar
really
is on,
cannot put
since
my
this
point
webinar
on
is
that.
only on ARMD, so I will
Yeah.
put up this
So-
question that if you have explanted a IOL because of a macular pathology, would you still go with the multifocal in your future patients? Because
Yeah, that's why
explanting
I'm
a
answering you.
multifocal after 1 or 2
If-
years is not easy. Explanting an IOL.
If I have explanted 10 IOLs till today, I would tell you at least 6 of them were people with not a macular pathology.
Macular pathology.
I mean,
So multifocal
without the macular
dissatisfaction.
pathology.
Multifocal
Yeah.
dissatisfaction. Okay. What about you, Dr. Rajiv Chaudhary?
I will not explant once it is there because we are not able to how much we will satisfy to the patient, because after removing, because AMD is going to be there, he will always be unhappy. So
Okay, Amit, I think
Yeah.
the last
we'll
word
go-
is from Srinivas. The last
Yeah.
word is from Srinivas here.
Yeah.
And then we switch over.
Because he had the first word also.
Give the mic to Amit sir. It's difficult to close it, so I will close it. I have all the privilege.
Yes.
Thank you, Amit sir and Partha sir. So the first question, which Rajiv sir said, it's the blended vision concept. I agree with him that multifocal in one eye, with monofocal in other eye, that the patient will get the best subject. Right? That is what is all about. I'm here not talking about the patients who are already having macular pathology like ERM, macular hole or anything. The topic given to me was just a drusenoid PEDs and the conversion of the drusenoid PEDs to wet AMD and geographical atrophy. I have already shown it very clearly. Coming to the question by Bhalla sir regarding the blue blocker. Blue blocker cuts only 20% of the UV rays according to the studies, and which have shown that the 53-year-old crystalline lens will give as much as 20% cut which the blue blocker gives. So it's not advisable to have blue blockers in these kind of patients. Whether you want accommodating IOLs or the multifocal IOLs, you definitely have to do a wonderful counseling with the patient, sit with them, tell them the consequence that you might require further intervention forward. So at present, if you want multifocality, good stereoscopic, I will give you a multifocal IOL, but at considered guarded prognosis. If you are still willing with that, we can go ahead. Otherwise, I would rather like to conclude telling that monofocal works best when you have multifocal in one eye and monofocal in other eye. But my friend Andres Gibrowski's paper, if you just go into that, he has screened 247 unique articles on multifocals with retinal disorders. There are only 2 special articles like Kamath et al. And another one. It says that nobody knows exactly in what percentage of the patient is multifocal still contraindicated in the initial form of retinal disease. So with this,
Thank you, Srinivas. Thank you, Srinivas. You still
Thank you.
didn't give a blanket statement to all the cataract surgeons. कि कूद पड़ो multifocal डालने के लिए. There are still some reservations. Thank you, Srinivas. Now